Hello, Cryptonauts, and welcome back to another episode of Cryptocurrency Chat. An exciting episode of Cryptocurrency Chat. This is Sunday, the 19th of March, but it's the 499th episode. We're so close to 500. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Maybe it doesn't sound like I am, but I am. In any case, we're just doing Sunday evening news. Lots of stuff. There's actually a lot of exciting stuff to get to, and we're going to get right into it because we're trying to knock this out in half an hour. Take it away, John, with the beginning of This Week in Crypto Twitter.
All right, let's get started here. Okay. Wrong one. This week on Crypto Twitter, pundits perform post-mortem on crypto bank crisis. All right, prices rebounded hard this week on the news that the U.S. government will intervene to ensure that depositors of the failed industry service institution Silicon Valley Bank and Signature would be made whole. As could be expected, crypto Twitter was all over the topic as it was last week. But Monday's news brought much needed closure to the industry. Prices have suffered as far back as the beginning of the month when another bank called Silvergate, which actually transacted in crypto, delayed filing its annual 10K report with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, prompting speculations as the state of its finances. On Monday, a day after Signature was shut down by the New York State Chartering Authority, popular exchange Coinbase revealed the extent of its exposure to the bank and promised that its operation was business as usual. And there's a tweet from Coinbase. Over in the UK that day, British Finance Minister Jeremy Hunt announced that his ministry had brokered a bailout deal in which HSBC acquired the British arms of SVB for €1. €1 or £1? What is that? One
It's £1.
pound.
It's £1.
One
Yeah.
pound to make British businesses with exposure to the bank whole. And there's that tweet from Jeremy. Crypto journalist and podcaster Jason Yanowitz tweeted a list of alternatives to the two defunct banks. And there's a tweet from Yano in BCB Group, Cross River, Customers Bank, Jewel, Mercury, Series. Not perfect solutions, but should get the job done. The banking crisis news had its self-proclaimed cypherpunk at Dystopia Breaker, squaring the blame solely on authorities and their apathy to crypto. And there's a tweet there from Dystopia Breaker. Crypto venture capitalist Nick Carter, a generalist partner at Capital Island Ventures, said the same, using the words of Barney Frank, a former American politician, Wall Street reformer, and Signature Bank board member. And here's that tweet from Nick Carter. Dear God, Barney Frank openly admits that Signature was arbitrarily shuttered despite no insolvency because regulators want to kill off the lost major pro crypto bank. Colossal scandal. Caitlin Long, founder of the crypto bank Custodia, jumped on a Twitter by Forbes crypto analyst Jason Brett and joined the chorus of disgruntled crypto fans, accusing the feds of hypocrisy and shady practices in their repeated rebuffs of her attempts to register her own institutions with them. And there's another tweet from Caitlin Long. Jessica Lesson, founder of the tech publication The Information, was incensed by the bit of reporting on the SVB crisis by the Wall Street Journal. She's right. It's substandard. And there's that tweet from Jessica for at WSJ to say flat out that SVB could have failed because they added non-white men to their board shows how far behind the times and certifiably stupid this publication really is. It makes me so angry and very sad. WSJ readers and staff deserve better. By Thursday, it looked like the general ire with the U.S. regulators had spread as far as Europe. And here's a tweet from Mario Nawfal. And if you guys don't follow him, he's great. He does awesome Twitter spaces with thousands of people in them pretty much every single day. So follow Mario. Let's see. His tweet is breaking. European financial regulators are furious at the handling of Silicon Valley Bank by the U.S. authorities. They tore up the rule book they helped write. Senior Eurozone officials said the U.S. showed total and utter incompetence. All right. Now, in other news, when it became apparent that Silicon Valley Bank was in hot water before any word of the top down intervention, consumer sentiment towards USD coin issuer Circle was rapidly declining. Last weekend, the dollar pegged stablecoin actually depegged by 13 cents at least one savvy trader worked the situation to their advantage. And this is a tweet from Look On Chain. A well bought 17.05 million dollars in USDC with 16 million USDT. Oh, actually, okay, USDT during USDC depegging and repaid the USDC debt on Aave. The well made more than $1.05 million. Did you guys buy USDC at a low price during the USDC depegging to repay the debt? Question mark.
Yeah,
That's a smart move.
if you expected it to go back up again, that was the thing, that bet he was making. If if it didn't go back up, he'd lose all that money.
Well, thanks to the bailout, right? On Monday, Stefan Casriel, a fintech leader at Facebook and Instagram parent company Meta, announced the end of NFT integration across the company. Whatever next? Well, Meta abandoned the metaverse pivot it's been so flamboyantly preparing for. Here's a tweet from Stefan. Some product news across the company. We're looking closely at what we prioritize to increase our focus. We're winding down digital collectibles, NFTs, for now to focus on other ways to support creators, people, and businesses. Avalanche founder and CEO Emin Gurnsire announced his new post as an advisor to DC regulators. And here's a tweet from Emin. I'm thrilled to have been appointed to the CFTC's Technical Advisory Board. I'll do everything I can to move this space forward, inform regulators about the latest development in crypto, and bring the benefits of blockchain to our financial system. All right. Jim Cramer's financial advice made the rounds on Tuesday, mainly for its comedy value. And here's a tweet from Neil. Holy shit. Stack every set you can ASAP. Jim Cramer said I would sell my Bitcoin. And
because he's a moron. I've never watched the guy except for when he made mistakes, which is like every day.
Coinbase's Connor Grogan turned a smart contract through ChatGPT 4 and found multiple vulnerabilities. Grogan is not the first, and he certainly won't be the last. Here's a tweet from Connor. I dumped a live Ethereum contract into GPT-4. In an instant, it highlighted a number of security vulnerabilities and pointed out surface areas where the contract could be exploited. It then verified a specific way I could exploit the contract. Interesting. Republican House Majority Whip Tom Emmer on Wednesday shared a letter he sent to the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation accusing regulators of using the banking crisis to instigate a purge on crypto-friendly institutions. On Friday, Senator Elizabeth Warren tweeted some shameless and way over-the-top anti-crypto propaganda. Here's that tweet from Elizabeth Warren. It's no wonder the American people are skeptical of the system that holds millions of struggling student loan borrowers in limbo, but steps in overnight to ensure that billion-dollar crypto firms won't lose a dime in deposits. On the other end of the spectrum, pseudonymous Twitter economic commentator James Medlock and former Coinbase CTO and former Andreessen Horowitz partner Balaji Srinivasan are entering into a $1 million public bet over the prospect of U.S. hyperinflation and the possibility that it would cause the value of Bitcoin to skyrocket. And here's a tweet from James. I'll bet anyone $1 million that the U.S. does not enter hyperinflation. And that is the end of this week on Crypto Twitter.
Yeah, lots of crazy stuff happening this week. Continuing on with This Week in Coins, which is probably going to be just as exciting. I would like to thank Tim Huckey for all his work that he does on doing research into finding this information on Decrypt. Thank you, Tim Huckey. We appreciate your work. This Week in Coin, Bitcoin, Ethereum post mega rallies after banking intervention. Yes, everyone's very confident, apparently. Bull run, right? After 3 consecutive weeks of losses, prices turned verdantly green for holders of the 2 largest cryptocurrencies by market cap this week. Bitcoin blew up 36% over the last 7 days, now trades at around 27,500, which is actually lower than it is. It's about 28.1 last I looked. According to coin market cap data, last week, Bitcoin shed around 10% in reaction to the news, and the industry servicing Signature Bank and Silicon Valley Bank had both failed. The industry's number 2 coin, Ethereum, is back where it started before the downturn. ETH is up about 27% over the last week, currently changing hands around 1830. I think that's inaccurate. I think it's currently changing hands around 1790. It's still close to 1800. In any case, The entire crypto market surged back to life, beginning with last Sunday night after the Federal Reserve, U.S. Treasury, and FDIC announced that they would step back in to backstop all deposits of Signature and SVP. That promise was reiterated by the president. Crypto didn't emerge fully unscathed, however. The industry has lost its two most crypto-friendly banks, unsurprisingly. And now conflicting reports are swirling over whether the FDIC is telling prospective buyers of Signature Bank that it will have to jettison the bank's crypto business. Former Massachusetts Congressman Barney Frank claimed the feds shut down Signature to send an anti-crypto message, and a Reuters report late in the week appeared to confirm Frank's claims. The FDIC has since denied that the claims made it to the Reuters story. Over in the UK, Chancellor of the Exchequer, I guess. I don't know if that's incorrectly spelled or what. Jeremy Hunt announced that the HM Treasury, Her Majesty's Treasury, the UK Finance Ministry has brokered a bailout deal for the HSBC acquired the British arm of SBF, as we said earlier, for £1 whole pound, to make whole British businesses with exposure to the bank. In addition to these interventions, investors were drawn into risk-on assets like crypto and tech stocks this week after signs emerged that the banking crisis could be spilling over into Europe's TradeFi institutions, such as Credit Suisse announced on Wednesday that $54 billion loan from the Swiss International Bank to shore up its liquidity. Virtually all of the top 30 cryptocurrencies by market cap posted significant gains this week, but some of the biggest winners aside from Bitcoin and Ethereum were Filecoin, which rose 33% to $640, Polygon or Matic, which rose 22% to $1.24, Solana, which rose 28% to $22.30, and Binance, which climbed 25% to $344.76. USD, the dollar-pegged stablecoin issued by Circle, slipped its peg last week and fell all the way to 87 cents after uncertainty over the company's exposure to the beleaguered banks. It restabilized this week in reaction to the bailout news, as we did actually cover this on Wednesday because it already recovered by that point. So it's great to see that USDC has recovered, but I've pulled out all my stablecoin. No longer banking on that. Or crypto? Is it cryptoing? Am I saying it wrong? So,
all right, next news.
Yeah, moving on to influencers slapped.
YouTube influencers slapped with $1 billion lawsuit for promoting FTX. Are you surprised? No.
Nope.
It was expected to happen. Let me just read the beginning here. A group of investors who did business with defunct cryptocurrency exchange FTX brought a class action lawsuit against multiple internet influencers Wednesday, alleging that content creators pushed unregistered securities on their viewers and followed while promoting the collapsed exchange. Yeah, you shouldn't be doing that. First of all, unregistered securities, you know that. Don't do that.
Yeah, we did say in the past, how do I put this exactly? I know we talked about CoffeeZillow actually making a very long post about this exact thing. And he actually talked to Meet Kevin about it on his broadcast, or rather his podcast, sorry. But even though you have there's no relationship to the people other than that they're subscribers of yours, there's no financial relationship between the person giving the podcast information and saying, hey, you should totally invest in FTX, and the individual. We don't have a relationship, which means we're not brokers, which means we can say whatever we want, and there's no law against it. Now, I know a lot of people give that disclaimer. They're like, look, I'm not a financial advisor. Don't sue me over this. You can still get sued over almost anything. Now, that lawsuit can still be dropped, but the point is making is you can shill whatever you want. People take their own chances. You have no relationship with that person, which means you were not. The only reason people give the disclaimer is because of previous lawsuits. But the fact of the matter remains, those people are not legally obliged to you. So if you decide to follow their advice, you have no recourse to them. They may have given advice and maybe it falls flat on its face. You still have no legal recourse to that. This lawsuit is a big, big number. It's a $1 billion lawsuit, so it's very scary. And it's easy for news organizations like ourselves and other people to make a good point of that. They're just like, oh my God, this is huge. It doesn't even mean it's going to succeed. But it is still important to make note that if you knew better and you still went through and advised these people, then I think you should probably give the money back. And we've already seen it. What was it? Who was it? What was the famous person who got sued and for more than she made? Which famous female influencer?
Talking about Kim Kardashian.
Kardashian, right? She got sued for like 1.2 billion. She was only paid $750,000. So she got sued. Her fine for having shilling FTX was basically $500,000. I know that Meet Kevin is doing well. I know that Graham Stephan, who's also in this lawsuit, is doing well. Could they afford $1 million fine? Yeah, they both probably could. Could Ben Armstrong afford $1 million fine? I'm not sure. Maybe he could. I don't actually know how much he's worth. But I think there were 6 total people, and I don't remember all the names of the people who were involved in this. But other than those 3, that they're all. I don't think that their combined values, like every single person. I know Graham Stephan's worth a lot of money. I'm sure he could pay $1 million fine. In fact, I'm pretty sure he could pay a $10 million fine. But I don't think that their combined value of all those people who are addressed in this particular lawsuit is even worth $1 billion. So this is very bad for them. But
looks like Ben Armstrong is doing a counter-sue, saying that he didn't receive any funds from FTX.
Yeah. But he also pulled out of supporting FTX before Bankman-Fried went down. Back in September, he said that, and it's a video proof on his YouTube page that shows that he was against SBF before SBF gave up the ghost. So he might be safe on this. We'll see. But in any case, I
wonder if YouTube's going to change the terms and agreements after this lawsuit, since this is directly going towards against YouTubers.
No, I don't know if that would happen. We'll see if that happens. But yeah, how do you know that this kind of thing is bad until after the lawsuit came out? I mean, you can always give the money back you got from having made money off of FTX. That's what they're asking the political people to do, that Sam Bankman-Fried illegally gave money to, and some of them have given the money back, as far as I know. But I don't know if $1 billion. I mean, it's the whole point is it's a punishment. It's like the what's it called? Voting machine lawsuits against Fox News. It's a punishment issue. I mean, can they win? Yeah, they might be able to. But can $1.6 to $2.6 billion hurt Fox? Yeah, but they make more money than that. So it's really a punishment factor in this case. Here's the list of defendants. I just found it. Kevin Paraf, who's Meet Kevin, Graham Stephan, Andre Geek, Jaspreet Singh, Brian Jung, Jeremy Lefebvre, Tom Nash, Ben Armstrong, Erica Kuhlberg, and the Creators Agency LLC. Those are all the defendants in the $1 billion lawsuit. I'm not sure.
Jaspreet Singh, that guy's awesome.
Yeah, he's pretty cool, but he did push SBF. So unfortunately, now I think the thing it may come out in discovery, obviously, is that I don't think any of these people knew definitively that SBF was doing something illegal. So to me, it still feels like the $1 billion is just a big number to throw at people. I don't think that the actual. I wouldn't be surprised if they all settle out of court, but yeah, it's unfortunate. I don't need to cover any more of this. I think we need to get on to Sam Bankman-Fried, but yeah, it's a big deal. It sucks for them and for us.
Moving on to Sam Bankman-Fried was paid $2.2 billion, mostly from Alameda. Ex-CEO Caroline Ellison, only $6 million.
This is
wow.
This is freaky. So the total amount of compensation to all the ex-staff of FTX was about $3.2 billion. Now think about that. The total amount paid to every single person that worked for that company was $3.2 billion. Of that 2.2 was given to Sam Bankman-Fried. So 2/3 of all the compensation that went to everybody in that company was given to the CEO/founder. Remember, he's not the only founder. He's only a co-founder. Even though he's like the head guy, he's still just a co-founder. And his other co-founder, Wang, was only compensated $250 million, which is still a good chunk of change. But it's funny how they don't count the $250 million they spent on housing, even though that was considered compensation. But the thing that's so drastically distinct in this article is that his girlfriend at the time, Caroline, who became the CEO after Bankman-Fried left in 2021. I mean, he didn't leave the company; he just stopped being CEO, and she took over. That her compensation was only $6 million. Now, was she somehow otherwise compensated through the fact that her boyfriend received $2.2 billion? Yeah, possibly. She probably definitely got some other format of compensation. I'm not just talking about being, related, in a relationship with him, but maybe he gave her some money separately. But the payments to each of the top brass, in particular, the head of engineering guy, Nishad Singh, received almost $600 million. Co-founder Gary Wang, the guy who was co-founding with Sam Bankman-Fried, got $250,000 or $246 million. The head of Alameda Research, Sam Trabucco, got $25 million, which is not a whole lot, but I guess he's just the head of the research place. The digital marketing co-CEO Ryan Salame, not Salami. It's so bad to say Salami, was $87 million. And then, of course, they spent $240 million on luxury property in the Bahamas. And then Caroline only got $6 million as her compensation for being CEO, which she was only there for about a year. And not to say that Bankman-Fried wasn't there for only like 2 years. The company only existed for barely 3 years. But I guess it comes down to the thing that really threw me off, and we talked about this in pre-show, is that Bankman-Fried, the entire value of the entire company, all the deposits included, not compensation, not revenue, but just deposits alone, was $30 billion. The man paid himself roughly 5% of the total value of the company. I don't know if that's normal for CEOs or not. Maybe it is. I don't think it is. I don't think the Intel CEO got that much money ever. It just throws me into like, this is not your personal bank account, but we already know he treated it like that, so it's not really that weird. So it's unfortunate, but this is what happens when people really don't know what they're doing and just manage to build stuff up and make up things as they go along. I mean, it sounds. I remember, was it when Terra started collapsing, Terra Luna, and Bankman-Fried's like, "Hey, we'll buy you out.
Yeah,
we'll take over. We'll help out 3 House Capital and Voyager Digital. Yeah, we'll help you out. 134 companies, under its umbrella. Yeah, we'll buy you out. Yeah, we got the money. Like, no, you don't. It's none of its money is yours. You're just making it up as you go along."
If I recall correctly, the reason that they wanted to do that was because there was a lot of their the FTT tokens that were
they
tied in.
Invested. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had already put money into those companies.
Since that went bust, apparently there's 134 companies that also went under since November due to FTX collapse.
Yeah, it was a massive grift.
Yeah, and that was my biggest fiasco when this first came to fruition, was that if FTX files for bankruptcy, their tentacles goes so far into the ecosystem that if they collapse, there's going to be so many companies go under with them, and that's going to hurt the economy massively, and it did.
Yep.
But as you can see now, currently, today's date, Bitcoin doesn't care. Bitcoin doesn't care if companies go bankrupt. It still goes up, man.
Well, we did struggle. I mean, it's March now, right? And the FTX thing has been going on for 6 months now. Well, at least 3 months. All the fit hit the shan at the end of last year.
But
and the irony was that only a year prior, the price was 3 times what it is now. So, you're right. Bitcoin doesn't seem to care.
It's in the hands of John J. Ray III now.
Yep.
Who's sorting everything out.
And Ron
Look
Mann.
to everybody that has their funds in there, because from my experience with Celsius, it is a headache, especially after SVB collapsed. Apparently, there's a lot of funds that Celsius had it with Silicon Valley Bank.
Oh, so yeah, SVB. Right.
Yeah.
So
that's
okay.
another headache. All right,
So-
next news.
Doodle's no longer an NFT project and won't cater to speculators, co-founder says. The creators of the Ethereum NFT collection signal growing ambitions, but comment, and socks, may be roiling some holders. Like, how can you just turn your project off? Like, sorry, we're not NFTs anymore. Well, you already sold NFTs. I'm sorry, it's not. You can't just stop that.
That's the dumbest thing. I don't understand where they're trying to go with this. Obviously, if you have investors investing millions of dollars into this project, they expect some type of product or service, right? In
Yep.
return,
Yep.
do something, right? Don't do a 180 and take the money and go somewhere else and
Yeah.
say, ah, you know what?
We're yeah. We decided not to do that anymore. And it's like, no, you can't just turn it off unless you compensate those who have participated. I guess they're saying, well, we got all our money, so bye. And that's what rug pulls do.
Yeah.
So.
Why? Why do you think that is? What's the speculation why they're doing this?
Oh, and we talked about this before, I think. But I mean, did I know before you said? No, I didn't. So I guess the only thing I can go with is why you said it was.
Yeah, which is, you know, the SEC is pretty much going against everybody that is into crypto with NFTs and claiming them that they're all securities. And I don't think Doodles wants anything to do with that. So they're making the safe bet and says, hey, we'll take the money and we'll do something else that's not security related, you know, and just to stay off the Uncle Gary's radar. That's my suspicion of what's going on here.
It's funny because NFTs aren't doing particularly bad at the moment, so I don't know why these guys are screwed or so worried. But maybe they have something to
Well,
hide. This might be the problem. Everybody's like, yeah, nothing to see here. Just look the other way. Nothing to see here.
maybe you're right. Yeah,
I mean, why
it,
else?
it is it is unusual because this not it's not a normal thing. People don't
Yeah.
just take money and says, oh, you know what, we're gonna actually do something else. That's not normal.
No, it's not. It's not. It's the same time. Especially if you have a lot of money, you'd think you could continue working on it, right? You got this huge funding round. You're doing well. I guess the problem is that they don't want to be accused. And how do I put it? It's the Streisand effect, right? As soon as you try to pull away and tell everybody there's nothing going on, everyone's going to start staring at you. So it's not going to be good for them, especially if people invested a large amount of money in these projects, and they have. It's not going to go anywhere good that they think is going to go. It's like I will agree with them when you start facing financial struggles. It's a pain. It's annoying because you want it to work and it's not working. Believe me,
Here's
I've
a
been
comment.
there.
Here's a comment from one of the community members, and this is just one. You got to keep in mind, there's thousands of people that are part of this project. So here's this comment. It's actually wild how disconnected some of the project founders are from the community. A pseudonymous NFT collector named Fetty tweeted. Doodles thinks they can hype up socks, drop after not tweeting for months.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't.
You know what? It sounds like a straight up rug pull, man. They just took the money and they're done.
Yep. And that sucks because it was a lot of hype around this thing, and it seems like a really cool project. I really like the idea of the Doodles project, all their different aspects. But the other possibility is they might have run into a technological blockade where they just can't get past it. Like their whole thing was making really, really actionable avatar NFTs, and maybe it's something that's just not doable now.
This last paragraph here at the bottom says the company also added musician Pharrell Williams as its chief brand officer last year and recently announced a large-scale Doodles 2 project on the Flow blockchain. Doodles 2 features customizable full-body avatars with tradable NFT clothing and accessories.
Yep.
That would have been really cool, man, if that came out.
Yeah.
That's something that I'm sure a lot of projects out there are working on right now. I would like to have my avatar and just buy NFTs and just upgrade my avatar
Yeah.
with
Yeah. Same here.
different gear.
That's
So
exactly
that
what
would
I
be really
wanted.
cool.
So it would be cool. All right, let's move on to this DAO thing, which is the last article we have for today. So DAO organizes holy pilgrimage to meet the Dogecoin dog in Japan. That's Kabosu, the literally the physical dog that represents Doge. Meme loving revelers will soon travel to Sakura, Japan, to meet Kabosu, star of the world-famous Doge meme and inspiration for Dogecoin. Yes, this is kind of cool. I think John and I were both into the idea of it, that all the people who want to meet the original Doge, she's getting up there in age. She's, 13 years old now, I believe, and she recently went through an illness, which I was trying to support her to make sure that she didn't die because they don't want her to die, even recognizing that Doges don't live forever. So yes, the trip is set to take place in early May, and we'll visit, as they say, feature visits to Doge-themed things.
Yeah. So let's see. What was it? It was Pleaser DAO is the one that is putting this all together. They're also even doing a raffle for a lucky winner with an all-paid expense trip to go up there, or down there, or over there,
Yeah,
wherever
over
there
there.
is, over there. Yeah. So what they did was they had the Doge. They bought the Doge. No, sorry. What was it? What did they buy? They bought the original the original Doge meme.
The
For
couch.
$4
They bought the
million.
couch of the dog, didn't they? I thought they did that a while
No.
back.
They bought there was an original. This was a while back.
Oh,
So
okay.
the original Doge meme bought it for $4 million,
Right,
and then
right.
they fractionalized it into billions of Doge tokens, right?
Yep.
So anybody that has one of those dog pixel NFTs gets automatically entered into the raffle to get that all paid expense trip over to see what's the dog's name again?
Kabuso.
Yakuza?
No, Cabo Su. I always say it wrong. It's
Kabuso? Kabuso?
Cabo Su. It's O.
Kabosu?
Yeah, it's not. It's
Kabusu.
Japanese. It's not the way English people would pronounce it per se. So this is
Kabuso.
kanji, which is
Kabo.
trying
Kabos.
to make it sound better for English speakers.
In Tokyo. All right, cool. Yep. So there you go. If you actually have one of those dog pixel NFTs, there you go. You're in. You're automatically entered. If you guys want to participate, you guys can buy one of those up. I'm sure they're in an auction hosted by Pleaser DAO.
Yeah, really cool. Grateful.
Oh, by the way, just once again, Pleaser DAO, they do actually have a nonprofit organization, humanitarian organization to save the children.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, they auctioned the couch for the original Doge meme rather. So yeah, they're definitely heavily involved in this idea. I think it's still pretty cool because it is for a good cause. And so it's awesome that they're letting somebody go over there.
Pleaser DAO has been pretty awesome when the news articles that we've been reading from about them.
In general.
They're really community involved. So if you guys are looking for a really good community, I would actually suggest you guys check out Pleaser DAO. Just check out their community.
So yep, that is all we have for this week in our tech news. I guess crypto news. We don't do it the same way other people do it. So thanks to you all for listening. You want to check out our coin tree, you can see where you can donate. We always appreciate that. We also have Raven and Evermore Asset Aware wallets you can donate assets to. You can also check us out on Discord, and you can see our Patreon to get our full show. Check us out on Twitch if you're not already watching on Twitch. And of course YouTube and Odyssey. You can also get us on the new Spotify, which used to be Anchor FM. Spotify bought Anchor FM and is now making their podcast part on what used to be Anchor. So we're grateful to all everybody who's still subscribed over there, and everyone's subscribed on every single location, anywhere you want to hear us or want to see us. As we say at the end of every single show, stack sats, and hodl.
Hodl.
Adios.
Adios.